John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything Hall called movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if please do sign for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now let's smash right into this episode. Today's episode is a review of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, with my friend Lily, aka Lillith the Librarian from TikTok. How you doing, Lily?
Fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited to talk about this film. This is really my first real introduction to Elvira. I've definitely seen her in cameos in different things before, but I've never watched any of her commentaries on films, and I had never seen it in the movies before either. So this was a lot of fun to be to finally have my real introduction to Elvira.
Well, welcome to Elvira.
Oh, well, I really liked the film. I thought it was a lot of fun. Though I will say, I do wish it were R-rated for a few different reasons.
Yeah, well, back then, so 1988, it like today it would be rated R. Because if you notice, like in Beetlejuice, that movie was PG, and they say the F-bomb.
Well, okay.
Not to mention the hooker.
You can say the F-bomb once in a PG-13 film now. So I think this still would have been paid PG-13 and nothing in it is really that crazy and I would say this is just like a family Halloween movie, but with a little bit of raunchiness added to it.
Yeah, my daughter watches it with me, my 13-year-old.
It's nothing crazy. I say I wish it were R-rated. Both because I like boobs, but also I think it could have been cool to have since I know that she would for commentaries would be doing did a lot of B movie horror movies, and I think it would have been cool to, as an homage to her, homage to those, have maybe instead of that black sludge that on in the flash dance scene, they could have had some over the top, very fake looking blood. I think something like that could have been really cool as an homage to all of the B movie horrors that she would review, because I'm pretty sure a lot of those had a lot of very fake looking blood in them.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they would have. But I think they were going the opposite route, because not to do like the Carrie thing, but I feel like if they would have done like clear baby oil or something, that would have been cool too. With like bloody feathers or something.
That can work. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I just think that a little bit more of like making it feel like those B movie horrors would have got a long way. I think I still love the film, but I think that could have really made it be something special for Ushel, I think having aimed that. I love B movie horror a lot, so I just think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But so I think what do I particularly want to talk about with this film? I think no, I think that it's cool that they have cool that the ending of the film is she goes on goes to Las Vegas to perform because apparently a Cassandra Andra Patterson I think is her name
Peterson.
Peterson
Yep.
and she started her career in
Yes,
Las
she
Vegas
did.
dancing. That's I
She
think that's
did.
really
She was
cool.
very young. She was a teenager, and her parents had to sign for her to be able to perform.
Ah.
I know a lot about her. I have her memoir and everything. So
Nice.
I will give you any information that you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I thought that I really liked the story in this. I thought it was a lot of fun on and I love that she ended up actually getting the money because of the fact that the villain happened to be her uncle.
Yeah. They did a pretty good job making him pretty creepy.
Yeah.
The makeup and stuff for him was pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I loved when they. I loved when he had had the hole in his head after she threw Sai at him. I thought that was some really cool makeup.
Yeah. Watching it again. So, fun fact, every time I watch a movie, I try to pay attention to different things. So I watched it again, and fun fact about her is that she was close with Elvis. Um,
Oh, cool.
she actually really loved him, and she even went beyond to say that she like the drugs and alcohol and all this stuff had to do with his manager. I don't know if you've seen his film, but it wasn't him. It wasn't who he was, but I noticed in her sleeping scene that she had an Elvis t-shirt on, and I did not notice that the first time I saw the movie.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that. Oh, one thing that I always find interesting watching films mainly like stuff from before the 2000s have sometimes have something like this is a character getting annoyed that they have to pump gas themselves like because nowadays you just expect to do that.
Yeah, I guess I've never paid attention to that.
Yeah, she gets annoyed that she has to pump the gas herself of the because she was expecting it to be a full service gas station when, but no, I guess in the 80s, full service gas stations were a lot more common than they are now.
Yeah, that is funny. All I noticed was him picking his nose and reading a porno magazine.
Oh man.
When he had her right in front of him with her tatas and he didn't give a shit. So
Uh,
yeah.
oh man. I definitely know I would not be distracted by a magazine if she watched it.
Yeah. Nope.
uh,
I love that about her. She's
that was
perfect.
it was absolutely hilarious that she said when she said, "Oh, those could kill you," and I'm wondering whether she intentionally left the gas pump running and the opposite side like that would happen. I don't know.
I
I
don't
think it
think
makes
so.
it even
She just
funnier if she did.
Yeah, I don't think so. She's portrayed as a ditzy bimbo,
Hmm.
and obviously she's not a bimbo, but she's very ditzy.
Hmm.
That's her character. But
Uh,
yeah.
I, well, one of the things I love the most about her is that she's a very a sex positive character, but she's very willing to put creeps in their place.
Oh
I
yeah.
like I love that mix a lot.
And that's what I love about her as well, because even her as a person, Cassandra, um, I feel like she's an amazing role model for girls
But
growing up and even women, because she's showing that she loves her sexuality and her body, but that doesn't mean that you get to treat her and
yeah,
disrespect her and
yeah,
sexualize her. Like
you
she
can't.
won't put up with it. So,
Yeah, you can, and you definitely should not be trying to force her to do shit. Like, oh
no.
my god.
Do you know that I used to like Frank Sinatra? He has good music, yes, but she was um take she was like a greeter or whatever down in Las Vegas, and he actually made a comment and was very sexist to her, and he handed her his hat and she hacked a loogie in it.
I love that.
So I thought that was great.
I'm not surprised that a man from and particularly from many decades ago would be like that.
Yeah, you're not the first one that
I
said that
know.
either. Someone else was talking about that when we were talking about it one night on a live.
Yeah, like men still kind it'll suck today, but I think that it was even more so back then because there was nobody telling us it was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
what made you put this on the list of movies for me to pick
Oh,
from?
I've wanted to watch this for a while. But I put this is one of the ones that you could pick from, just because I thought I you just like me like spooky horror kind of things and so this along with the other ones that I put on the list for you are all spooky themed ones and also ones that I've wanted to watch for a while.
Yeah. I it was between that one and Little Shop of Horrors, but since I'm a major Elvira Cassandra fan, I
Makes sense.
like
Yeah.
I have so much of her stuff, and
Mhm.
here's my shirt of the
I
day.
love it.
My brother
Nice.
always bought me all my Elvira stuff, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
Well, she's
um,
a queen.
I'm glad that you were willing to come on for this because I really enjoy your personality on TikTok. So I've been
Aw.
wanting to get you on for a little bit. I think this was a perfect film for us to be able to talk about together. Since you're a big
Yeah.
fan of Elvira.
And thanks for inviting me, and sorry for all the conflicts.
No, it's all right. It's all right. No worries. So let's see. What else about the film do I want to talk about? Uh, I find it really funny how even though this town is as conservative as it gets, as they do not like sex in any possible way, they let their bowling alley be called the Titty Bowl.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like I'm like, okay, how did that end up happening?
Well, not to mention, talk about the major Karens in this film. You want you want an introduction to Karens, just go watch this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. Though I do find it very surprising that at the end of the film they all changed their minds about her.
Except
I
for the
would,
one.
yeah. Like I feel like they're too stuck in their ways that they probably would not have changed their minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Um, you'll have to eventually go watch her second film, the
yeah.
Elvira. Yep, that is
So
one of my favorites.
I want to watch that as well. Actually, like the day when I was watching this for the first time, I wasn't paying attention as the credits were rolling, and um be started playing the second film. I got like 5 minutes in before I realized, oh wait, this is what this is not like a post credit scene or something. What's going on here?
Yeah. Nope, that one was a good one.
And and those first 5 minutes I saw, I was very surprised by because I was like, is this film set in a western? What's going on here?
No, it's a good one though. You'll have to watch it.
Uh, oh, no. So the other day, though, I posted that TikTok telling people about how you're going to be coming on, and also, but also in that video, I mentioned how I want a new Elvira movie now. Would you want to see a new one come out now?
I would love to, but she's done. She's done with Elvira.
She's done. Seems to still be doing stuff fun on Instagram with Elvira. I know last year, at the very least, Ace, I remember seeing a vote for Elvira 2024 video that she made.
Yeah, that is, I think, the last one because it takes over an hour to
Mm.
get dressed and put on all that makeup and her
Uh,
outfit and everything. So
that makes sense.
she said that she officially was retiring her stuff, but
That
I
makes sense.
absolutely would love if she made another film.
Yeah. And what would you think of my idea of her set in her in a post-apocalyptic world? I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, I think she can make anything really
Oh
cool.
yeah, definitely. I just think I don't know. I think the idea of Elvira waking up and she's in a post-apocalyptic world, it just seems real. Sounds like that would be so much fun.
Yeah, and almost like carry on from the first movie, like with her witch stuff, and like maybe it was a mistake that she did the
Mhm.
wrong spell and something happened and then made it a post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
So, one thing I was thinking about the after watching this first film is, does the second film follow up on this, or is it just completely different?
Completely different.
Because I was like, I feel like it easily could have, but it also easily could just not because um people wouldn't be watching that as if it's the next thing. If people who are fans of her would have been watching it after also watching a whole bunch more of her commentaries. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it's just completely different. Oh, I think. Oh, something I saw on the trivia section for this film on IMDb that I thought was really cool is the newswoman. From the beginning of the film is played by the same actress who voiced a parody of Elvira, Bubarella, on The Simpsons.
Oh, well, I've never Simpsons, my daughter loves The Simpsons, and I remember growing up with it, but living with my mom, I wasn't allowed to watch stuff like that, so I would go to
I
my
was not allowed to
dad's.
watch that either. I
Yeah,
watched.
so
So The Simpsons is something that I only started watching in my adulthood. I did not watch it at all as a kid. But I thought when I saw that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That little connection.
that is cool. Did you ever see the Scooby-Doo episode?
I've seen. I think I've seen something with her in Scooby Doo, but I'm not sure. I know that she actually in the past few years is cameoed in 2 Scooby Doo movies,
Yeah.
which is really
Yep.
fun, and I love that.
And she was in Rob Zombie's The Munsters.
Nice, nice. I love that. I don't remember seeing her in that, but I really enjoyed the Rob Zombie's Monsters movie.
Yeah. So it was okay. I know it was one of my brother's movies that he liked a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Those, now that I've like watched this, it makes me really want to see her appearances is on Scooby Doo. Because I've always loved Scooby Doo, and I think this is a perfect crossover. Or um, though it does sadden me that that from what I've heard, or it's only cameo appearances in is in movies and not her having a guest starring role. I think it would
Yeah,
be really cool for her to be like a main character in one.
I was pulling up the IMDb because I was actually gonna ask you if you had any favorite quotes.
I really like the joke near the end, and where I think Bob is his name. Aim says as she's bigger than you, and Elvira says a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a
I
lot of
thought that
good
was really
quotes.
funny. Yeah, basically every line in the film is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, what was a favorite quote of yours? Always from the film.
Well, there was quite a bit, but like the one where they're like, "How's your head?" and she's
Yeah,
like,
that's
"I
I
haven't
love
had any
that.
complaints yet."
I
I mean,
love that.
there is a lot of quirky jokes in there.
Definitely. Yeah, I love the all of that. At raunchy humor is my favorite like genre of movie and TV. So I love the of that. This is chock full of that.
So, since you weren't able to watch stuff as a child, what made you decide to start watching stuff as an adult?
Um, Mainly
Is it
just because
because you weren't allowed?
I want to experience all the things that I wasn't able to watch as a kid. And especially now that my dad, who did not allow us to watch these things, is gone. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I can now watch these things. I would like to experience these things that I never got to as a kid.
right. Yeah, I everything horror or anything like that, I watched at my dad's. I don't, did you know my brother?
No, I did not. Not I
Okay.
had followed him, but I never really interacted with him. Sadly.
So our father, he loved boobs and butts. And we had a video store. It was very small here, but it was called Roman Video. And um he always would take us in the horror section, like he would let us go there and he let us watch whatever we wanted. But I grew up with him, he loved the alien stuff, he loved X-Files, and I would sit and watch that with him. And he introduced me to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. But I became obsessed with her when I was a little girl because I remember him watching this movie. And obviously I'm married, but I do find women attractive. And I loved her. I thought she was funny. I loved the darkness of
Mhm.
her because although she is dark, she still likes the light of things. Like she loves pink and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
Um, and she didn't take anything from anyone. And I wish I could be like that kind of thing.
love that. Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, but I think a Elvira Ira is like a combination of a whole bunch of things I absolutely love. Um, she's a sexy goth lady. She's absolutely hilarious. Is she doesn't take shit from anybody. It's just is everything inside I like.
Yeah. You should really read her memoir if you like reading.
I'm not. I don't get big into reading, but I wouldn't mind. I'm learning more about her.
Yeah. Um, she actually was gonna take over being Vampira, and that is how she became Elvira, because Vampira despised her. So she was not allowed to take that on. Um,
but hey, but isn't Vampira a comic? Not
um,
and like I'm pretty sure there's been a movie that's been made based on it, but that's not like a specific person in real life. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know why she wouldn't be able to get
well,
that
are you
role.
thinking of Vampira or Vampirella?
maybe Vampirella.
Yeah. So Vampira, she was born in the 1920s, and
Okay.
let's see, um, yeah, she actually had a show. The show ran for only one season on a local channel in Los Angeles. Um, yeah, and it actually had good ratings, but it was canceled because the producer of it refused to sell the rights to the character for the ABC network.
Oh
So
god.
that's when they were gonna do Elvira.
Looks like Vampira was the inspiration from or Morticia Adams.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So when people like want to make me stuff and they ask if I want like Vampira and Elvira, I'm like, no, like Vampira did not like her.
Oh
So I
man.
have a Morticia and Elvira picture together, but yeah,
Nice. That's awesome.
yeah.
Uh, oh, let's think. What else about this is what I want to talk about. I think it's hilarious that they when she was dealing with the scummy TV station host, she literally pushed him into the shot so that so now everybody he knows how much of a piece of shit he is. And
Yeah,
I love that.
he is the portrait of a misogynistic pig of TV
Mhm.
show
Oh yeah,
owners
I like
or anything.
I always love when I see films from um this they're this old. Oh, not this is actually super old, but I love this. I love whenever films from like the 80s, 90s, whatever, are actually call attention to the attention to these creeps of the world. I think that's so cool to see because back then a lot of this stuff in real life was covered up. So it's always so cool to me when you see a movie that's it's actually trying to take a little bit of time and be like, hey, yeah, these creeps are a thing.
Yeah, and there's more that need to be exposed
Yeah,
that
uh,
haven't.
definitely, it's a very sad part of Hollywood. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think what else is there with this film? I love the even though it really makes it absolutely no sense. The Rambo scene,
Oh yeah.
like all of a sudden she's in an outfit that makes her look similar to Rambo. It's like, so did she when she went in the film, like did she have all this time to create that?
Yeah. You really need to watch the next film that she's in because there's some scenes in there that yeah, you'll have to do that. And
uh,
then you'll have to let me know what you think.
yeah. Um, or I might try to have you come on again and to review that one as well. But yeah. Another scene that I absolutely loved is when she breaks through the chains at the ends at the cemetery with her boobs.
Yep.
I love
Her
that.
boobs are a weapon. Period.
uh, uh,
My favorite scene in the film, actually, I love when she's late sleeping and her hair is just like a big
oh,
web.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how that she uses the fact that these kids are it's came to spy on her or as a chance to get free labor.
Yep. Yes. Um, let's see. I was trying to look at some other things.
Oh. No, I
Oh,
it's hilarious, Iris, that how she kept thinking that particular words in the recipe book were things that were definitely not what they were. And so she would just create spells not knowing what they were, or like there could not have been a more perfect thing she could have done with the for the morality a people's picnic, and I imagine she probably had no idea that was gonna happen.
yeah. I like the one that's like the stuff that looks like it's actually marijuana. Like
Oh
a bunch of
man.
it. So I was gonna look up what exactly was used in that to make it look
Oh
like that.
man.
It was
Oh
disgusting. And the
man.
garbage disposal scene actually is one of the garbage disposal scenes that creep me out about garbage disposals. I mean, I use the garbage disposal, but I think about that scene and another scene from another movie every time I use it. I'm like, ugh. But
Oh. I love that. I love that they incorporated a theater into it so that they could have a scene of her basically doing her commentary. I think that's was a really good homage. Let's see what else.
so have you ever watched any of her like
No, I haven't
shows?
watched any of her shows. So, those no.
No?
I just know about know that they exist and so I think that's cool that they did that, and I also just I love when movies have scenes in theaters or in general. I just think it's a really cool setting.
Yeah. Yeah, and also especially these days so that it's not forgotten since there's so many streaming
Huh, that's
devices
what.
and all that other stuff. I feel like I feel like the generation now, like the younger, because I mean, I'm 40, but I feel like the younger ones are helping bring some of that back, or
Mhm,
even the older generation is bringing some of that back, like the VHS tapes or
mhm.
the vinyl records and stuff like that. Like I love that movie theaters are still there and
I,
becoming a thing. Like
I think
um
that I think it's something that really depends on the person and their circumstances for whether they're trying to keep theaters alive or not. Like I love going to theaters, and I will always support them. No matter what. But then at the same time, I understand like the opinion of like one of my brothers, who he doesn't go to the theater very often because it's really hard to do with his kids. It's and that's
yeah.
and so I kind of understand and both way sides of like liking streaming services, so it's easy of access when you're in a situation where you can't go often. But I also think that I also think though at the same time that having all these streaming services is and so much ease of access makes watching movies a lot less special.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the theater. I love the smell. I love the darkness, like
Uh,
and how
I
big the screen is.
I wanna sometime I'm because I've never had a chance to go to sign like this. I want to go to a theater that actually looks like that classical look of theaters versus nowadays is theaters don't really look like that the reds and blacks that you would expect versus they just don't look like that anymore. I think and there would be curtains around the stage area and stuff like that. I think that would be
Oh,
I would want to be able to go to sign like that um but sadly most theaters don't seem to be like that these days.
you want some animals?
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't mind the animals. No worries.
You can have them. They're like,
I,
oh, someone's distracting mom. We're gonna try to just be all crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I,
I
I
love
don't
your
mind. I'm
Hulk
not.
setup in the background.
Thank you. Thank you. Ooh,
The lights actually, the way you have the lights, it actually looks like um Gumby.
nice.
Do you remember
Just
him?
I never really saw much Gumby, but I've heard of him. I don't he was definitely not like a character that I saw much as a kid, but I've definitely heard of him.
Yeah, he's in my day, I guess. I
Well,
feel like an old lady.
maybe. Well, it could be that, but it also could just be because there was a lot of stuff that I was not allowed to watch when I was a kid. Because my dad was very restrictive of what we could watch. Like both all, if stuff was us too mature, he wouldn't let us watch it. But also if he decided things were too babyish, we weren't allowed to watch it and watch it. And we had to find stuff within that gray area, which usually meant we were watching just action movies. He's
So
growing
like
up.
what did you grow up watching?
Um, for myself, when I watched like kids shows, mainly I watched stuff like Ben 10 and I watched Scooby Doo no, and and then there was just then random other shows that I saw on television that and I was able to sneak around my dad watching a but like he and very quickly actually by the time I was like 7 or 8 he had decided that anything that was animated was too babyish, so we could not watch that anymore. So I had to be really sneaky about things if I wanted to watch anything. I'm like, it's just so dumb.
I
Oh
still
my
watch
god.
cartoons.
Yeah,
I love watching cartoons.
I love cartoons. And it's and it pisses me off that he was like that because animation is just another art form. We should be
Mhm.
able to, anybody should be able to watch animation, but he was so strict. He wouldn't even let us watch SpongeBob or things like that. I'm like, what is wrong with SpongeBob?
Yeah, people like that don't understand art, and art is all over.
Mhm.
Art is
Uh,
surrounding us.
when we were watching stuff as a family, we'd mainly be watching just either random action movies or fantasy movies, so stuff like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Chronicles of Narnia, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all that stuff,
I mean,
but
I like those things,
not something I
but
would
they're
watch
not.
all the time.
Yeah, it's not like not my favorite thing. For me, my favorite thing is to watch comedic stuff. And like uh sometimes like horror comedies, sometimes I'm raunchy comedies, stuff like that. I love that. But I would not have been able to watch any of that as a kid. I'm pretty sure the first time that I actually watched a horror film uh, um um was the 2017 It movie.
Oh,
That's how late I was able to get into horror. Uh,
oh,
which isn't is sad. But that's why I want to go back and watch more things I've missed over the years. It's
yeah.
like um
Wow. I'll have to give you, I'm not like, so I'm not a big, I love movies, but I'm not big into like remembering who characters are or things
mhm,
like that. Like I said, I try to, next time I rewatch a movie, I try to pay attention to things.
makes sense.
And I've also, my taste isn't the same as it used to be. So there are films that I used to love growing up
I,
and I watch them now and
I
I don't like them.
no, no,
So,
I understand that feeling. I like as a kid, I loved watching the Lord of the Rings movies. As an adult, I find them so boring.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, what's what's one of your top favorite horror films?
Ooh, my I and this is honestly my favorite film of all time. I'm is a very indie horror comedy called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. Which is it is a hilarious film. I think you would like it. There's a very similar kind of humor as with the Elvira films.
Well, you're gonna have to send that to me because I have never heard of it, and that was a whole mouthful.
Yeah, it's a very long title. I like I so I've recommended that to a lot of people, and a lot of times when I recommend it to people, people think I'm recommending two different films because of how long the title is. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
that's the whole title. It's a
right.
long ass title.
Yeah.
But I love the film. It it basically feels like if like tonally feels like a Scooby Doo mystery, but for adults.
Okay.
As it's as like it is it's very spooky and ooky, but and we're learning about this mystery at this mansion, but it also has a lot of raunchy humor, and it's and also the main character is a Satanist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to, I will definitely have to check that out.
yeah.
I don't, I watch a lot of movies, but I don't, like, I read a lot.
Mhm.
I read
Understandable.
a lot of horror books.
Well, so I don't read very often, and just because I have because I find that it's really hard for me to get into books, but I've it's always been super easy for me to get into movies. These
Yeah.
movies are these have always been like my thing. But yeah, other than the Elvira movies, what are some of your favorite horror movies or horror comedies? Is
Well, one of my top favorites is Trick or Treat
okay.
with Sam. Have you seen that?
I have heard of it. I've not watched it myself.
That is one of my favorites. And I love Queen of the Damned. I
Okay.
love 13 Ghost. So I'm more of a vampire and super spooky girl.
I love of vampires and super spooky stuff too. Ooh. The only thing with me that I don't like when it comes to horror is when things are super realistic and disturbing urban like I'm like it's a little too much for me
I feel like
but
that's a point of horror though. Like
I understand that but it's like I have trouble watching some of those things sometimes
I
but
can't watch
I
them by
but I
myself. Like I have to have someone here because one of my top favorite movies that does that to me, I can't watch alone is Autopsy of Jane Doe. Like that movie is so messed up and
I
my husband was sleeping. He fell asleep during the movie
mhm.
and my upstairs bathroom is all the way down the hall from my bedroom and I had to like hurry up and flip on all the switches for the lights to even bolt down to the bathroom because I was so scared.
I like for me like it's less of like a being scared thing. It's more of just being like I get uncomfortable and get and grossed out when
I get
watching
it.
things that are too disturbing, realistic, and like particularly realistic, gory stuff. That and as well when there's disturbing stuff like if there's a rape scene I'm
Oh
like
yeah, I really
I hate that. Nope.
yeah, I actually was recommended a film, the original Spit on Your Grave, and I still need to do a review on it because I made a video and asked people for like films and or books to watch or whatever. But obviously I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for Nerdy Hillbilly. It was okay.
Mhm.
But I'd rather watch that movie than the movie I Spit on Your Grave, the original. Like it was just too much for me, and having
I've
30
never
minutes.
I've never watched either of those films, but
Don't
just
don't
based on
watch.
what I've heard of them, I can definitely imagine why I Spit on Your Grave would be so much worse
Oh
than,
no.
that.
I won't ever watch any of the other ones. I mean, taking 30 minutes
Uh,
of a rape scene like is just
oh God,
unnecessary.
that sounds
It's
awful.
unnecessary.
Oh God, that sounds that would be a pain. Like and
Yeah.
like and happily as my as when it comes to horror, my favorite is horror comedies, and usually horror comedies don't get that disturbing.
No, they're usually I don't even know. I've only seen a few horror comedies. Like obviously Scary Movie, uh, and Elvira. Um, but yeah, I'm more of the vampire and like psychological thriller kind of
Yeah,
horror.
I definitely
Um,
like psychological and vampires stuff
yeah.
like that. Uh,
Nosferatu, I just watched that and I could watch that on repeat right now. So that's
uh,
probably
uh,
topped my number one.
I'm somewhat interested in watching the new Nosferatu film, I'm hoping it's a lot more interesting to me than the original film was because I got very bored watching the original.
Well, there's no dialogue in that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
like that
there's
was like
actually
I was
dialogue
like
in this
I
movie.
was both very bored and also very confused a lot of the time in the original of
Yeah. Well,
Nosferatu.
if you have to understand Dracula, like
Mhm.
because it is from Dracula, and you have to uh it is a film where you have to like pay attention, and there are some
Mhm.
spots that they could have cut out. It was a little long in areas, but it was a beautiful film.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I will never dispute the fact that it is a masterpiece. It's just time that wasn't for me.
right. So you'll have to just wait until it comes out on video then to watch
Yeah.
it.
Mhm. But I love the vampire stuff as well. For me, I particularly love vampire stuff most when it's the very classical looking in like red and black acts or vibes with vampires. I definitely am not like a big fan of like a lot of the modern vampire idea, like stuff like Twilight.
Yeah, I like Twilight.
Oh, I mean like I mean just the
No,
visual.
I get it.
Like
The
I'm fine.
glitter.
Like I've actually I've enjoyed watching the Twilight films,
No,
but
if you
it's
don't like
not.
it,
No, I really actually did enjoy the Twilight films when I watched them, but the biggest thing to me was like it is just like the look. Look is like I like that classical red and black robes and stuff like that. I think that's really cool with vampires, and you don't get
me
any of
too.
that with Twilight.
Like the
I oh
gothic macabre feel.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. There's that, and also I think there's some very problematic stuff in Twilight.
Oh, there is. And I really wish
Yeah.
they would remake it with different characters.
I think like there are two main things that irk me with the Twilight movies. And one of them, they're both about for the same exact reason, which is ages of characters. We have at the beginning in Belle, I think
Bella.
the Bella, she's a child. She is not even 18 yet, and she's being pursued by this over 100-year-old vampire. And then we have in the last film, and I assume I believe the book as well. We have Jacob be doing some weird stuff to a baby, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. There are some
like,
things in
like,
there.
I'm like, these films. I think they're fun, but I do like have like just these bits of irks with them. Like, that's
Yeah.
when you think or when you actually think about these things, like that's weird.
Yeah, when you get older and start to really pay attention, you're like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, ugh, the ick factor.
Yeah.
But
I love vampires. Out of all of, like the different mythical like spooky creatures, or vampires have always been the one that's my favorite.
yep, I love vampires.
So.
I don't know why. Maybe just the love and passion they have for the person that they fall in love with, or I don't know.
No, it might be for me. Simply that I find vampire ladies sexy. Abe. Well,
Yeah, not to mention
oh,
all the things that you get to do. So,
yeah. Oh, well, I don't think there's really anything else to say for this review. So, I'm end this off. Is there any last thing you'd like to say before I end this recording?
no, I just thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed doing this, and we will have to watch another movie together and review it.
Oh yeah.
I'm always
Yeah.
up for it. And don't forget to
Oh.
send me what movie you said.
Yeah, I'll make sure to send that to you. Everyone, please check out Lilith the Librarian on TikTok. Hopefully TikTok lasts for a little while. I don't know if what's gonna happen, but hopefully. Um, and thank you everyone for listening. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. Please let me know. And if you like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Master John, signing off.